So today is finally a great day because I got the Ford Taurus behind me and I got new tires on it. Everything's back together and working like it should. So I can finally go take it for a cruise and let's see what this thing can actually do. A real reaction. Now, some of you know from watching the channel about all the stuff I've done to this car. You know, the transmission had to come out and be replaced. Bunch of little miscellaneous things, end links, ball joints, stuff like that, you name it. But since all that, it is back together and she's ripping again. So for those who don't know, this is a 1997 Ford SHO. Now what made this thing unique is it's equipped with a 3.4 liter V8 engine designed with Yamaha and Cosworth that built the engine. And I'll put a clip in the engine right here so you can see really what this thing looks like. It's just a combobulation of intake design that's just futuristic to me, which was just a crazy thing. And they didn't make a whole lot of these things. I think the production number from like 97 to 99 was like 30-ish thousand. So the transmission has been replaced in this thing and it's running great, shifting great. I did a whole bunch of tune-up stuff, welded the cams. Oh geez, it just rips in this thing. Now this is a smooth driving car actually for the 90s. You know, 1997 is this model. It did come with the unique dash, you know, the miles per hour went up to 150 miles per hour and the RPMs went up to 8,000. And when I find a good spot, we'll have to do a nice 0 to 60 time on this thing. But to really get the power out of it, I've noticed you have to get that rev up pretty dang high, which again kind of adds to the fun value of this car. Let's see if we can find a nice straightaway here. So I did find a fact from Motor Trend. I can't find the actual Ford 0 to 60 time, but it says 7.5 seconds 0 to 60, which in the 90s, that probably would have been a fast thing. All right, let's see if I can figure out this app thing quick here to see if we can do a nice 0 to 60 time. All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna set this down and let's do a 0 to 60 pull. All right, here goes nothing. On the floor, 20. 44, 50, 60, 6.9 seconds. So it's actually a half second faster than what Motor Trend actually says. Now, I don't know if that's something to brag about or not, but it does have a little bit of get up. However, you're probably not gonna go win any races with any new vehicles these days, but the appreciation is still there. Now, another cool thing about the car is it did have active suspension, meaning it had actuators to stiffen up the shocks on each corner of this car, and I think they later revised that, don't quote me, but I think they later revised that on the 98 on up models, and they just did the front shocks and not the rear, if I read that correctly. And with the active suspension, they also had the active steering on it too, to stiffen up the steering in terms of speed, of course, and that would allow you to tighten up on the corners and everything like that. Because high performance, why wouldn't you want that? A couple of good boys right there. So as I mentioned, the production numbers fell off pretty heavily on this model in particular, and I think they quit making them until obviously the recent generation of the Ford Taurus SHO. But it wasn't as big of a hit as it was early on and later on, I should say, because it just kind of fell off in the 90s here. And that probably had to do with one fatal flaw of this engine, and that was the camshaft sprockets were pressed on. And what would happen, the camshaft sprocket gear would spin over time because it was pressed on, and then you would bend valves, and then the engine was toast after that point. So it wasn't ideal for longevity. I don't think they were really known to be reliable. However, this one, I ended up welding the cams on, as you can see here. But it does have over 188,000 miles on the thing, and I think it was just a whimsical thing. Like some would fail and some wouldn't, but I think the likelihood of it failing was far more common than what actually would take place. Now, this was in direct competition for the Pontiac Grand Prix at the time. What was theirs, like the GTP or the GXP, something like that. And I think there was a couple other that was kind of in their wheelhouse for direct competition. Now, this car did have some pretty unique features on the body of the car. It included the phone. I think this was actually advertised to people that were kind of executive-ish, like you wanted the sports car but you couldn't afford the sports car. So this was the next best thing to people in that category. But honestly, overall, driving this thing, dude, it's not the fastest thing, but man, it's kind of a fun car. Just listen to it. It freaking rocks. It's stiff. Yeah, the suspension feels great, especially coming out of this on-ramp here. And she gets up. Not a bad pulling car. And it just sounds pretty dang good. The audio system did sound really good for what you got for this car. I mean, back in the day, audio systems just didn't sound good. Now, there were so many unique features on this car. The front bumper, the rear bumper was different. It had very, very small badging, because I think the actual intentions of the car was to kind of be this sleeper-esque thing, like a quiet car, where most people wouldn't know until you pulled up next to it that the thing had a little bit of power. Now, this thing did have like 235-ish horsepower. So back in the day, in the 90s, it was kind of a ripper, to be honest. I know the seats were different in the show. They had bolstering and stuff like that, so they're actually really comfy seats that hold you in tight, but it also feels like you're sitting in a recliner, which is typical like 90s fashion. Everything is electric. The stereo system, everything is like oval shaped in the car, which is kind of a funny thing. I mean, even if you look at the car from the outside, it's just futuristic, bubble-ish car, which I think this was like the primitive design of aerodynamics, was the 90s. Again, overall, it is actually just a really cool, fun car. I like it. I'm glad I got this thing for such a steal of a deal, too. I'm gonna hit the interstate one more time, do a little pull. We'll get back and I'll share some final thoughts and maybe the future with this thing. We'll see what it beholds here. So overall, are you going to win many races with this car? Probably not. Are you going to win any car shows? Again, probably not. However, it is a unique car, and if you pop the hood at a car show, people will admire it, because I just brought it to a car show, and that was the only thing that was really popular. People couldn't believe there was a V8 in this thing. They're like, why does this exist? Pretty cool. We are back. And now, just do a quick little recap on the kind of exterior of this thing and the little cool little features that it has on the inside. As I was saying while we were on the drive, these seats got really nice bolstering. This thing does have the moonroof sunroof, which is pretty cool. And I did notice this the other day. It's got multiple visors on it, so you can come in here and do your business meeting by just picking up the phone and making a call. Check that out. For some reason, that alone honestly makes the car for me. Phone, an old phone from the 90s. I don't know why I'm so enamored by that, but I am. The SHO did get equipped with the chrome alloy 16-inch wheels, and boy, I did polish these things, and they polished up really nice. Heated mirrors, as you can see right here. Retractable antennas. Remember when that used to be a thing, when retractable antennas could just bury down in there with a motor? It's funny how that used to be a feature on cars in the 90s. Now, this was kind of the cool part about the sleeperness of the SHO. They would just put a little emblem right here on the left corner on these just to really hide it, and there was no other badging. That was all. The only other badging we'd get was this V8 right on the front fenders here. And there's your 235 horsepower V8 Yamaha built engine right here. And it looks like my work is holding up just nicely. No more leaks. Transmission isn't slipping anymore. Everything is looking great. No more fluid leaks is really the key part, because I hate having oil drip on my floor. It's like one of my pet peeves. But you can see too, the front bumper, that was a little bit different design than the other Tauruses. And then they had this little tiny lip underneath here. That just, that came extra on the shows too, I believe. Overall, it's a pretty cool car from the 90s, from Ford. You don't get many of these cool, weird, quirky cars out in the wild anymore, but I am lucky to say that I have one. I'm the proud owner of the SHO. So I will leave it there. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Please do that, actually. It really does help the algorithm and helps my channel grow. I'm gonna try to keep doing this stuff because I enjoy it. I'm having fun doing it. So Thank you again. Appreciate all the viewers. And if you think of a cool thing to do with this car, or if it's a road trip, drag strip, something like that, something that I can't think of that's not destroying it, hit me up and let's see if I can make that video happen. Have a good one. See you.